Coffee doesn't really suit chemo, but thanks anyway.
And gin?
Oh, point taken.
So, how's the treatment going? Have they given you any indication?
Well, I've done 2 out of the 3 initial rounds of chemo so far, and apparently they just wait and see where we are after the 3rd. It's funny, I've been able to handle the nausea. After all, it's not my first rodeo. But the exhaustion, that seems to be getting worse.
Can they not give you something to help?
Well, I wouldn't say no to a new set of lungs if they're offering. I suppose I could just ask. Maybe that's all I need to do. Except it's in my bones, too. You were always so beautiful.
Don't.
I don't know what happened. No, you are, and you were. I remember going into your room when you were little, just watching you sleeping. You used to take my breath away.
Same with me and Eve.
Well, why shouldn't it be? She's perfect. I remember going into your room once when me and your dad had just had some right royal bust-up. You woke up and looked at me and smiled and just turned over, and I thought you'd just gone back to sleep. And then you said, very quietly, "I love you, Mummy." You're always saying it at that age. And then you said that you would always love me, no matter where I was. That you'd love me, even if I was dead. I've no idea where that came from. And I told you that I was not going to die. Not for a very long time, at least. I actually think that's one promise I've just about managed to keep, eh? I think the chemo is not for me, Chaz. Not this time.
Oh, what do you mean? It's not for you.
Well, the best it's going to do is give me a couple more months.
Well, that's something, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought so too. I did, but at what cost? I think it's time to knock it on the head, love.
You want to stop the chemo?
Well, that's the trick of life, you see. Knowing when to hold 'em and when to fold 'em. I kept my promise. I just hope when the time comes, you're able to keep yours. Oh, that's not what you wanted to hear, Chaz. I don't much like the sound of it myself now I've said it, but there it is.
I don't think you're in the best place to be making this kind of decision right now.
I'm in the best place I'm ever going to be. Nothing is going to get better from here on in.
If they thought there wasn't a point...
Well, I know there's a point. I'm not daft. I know they want to keep me alive, but bless their cottons.
And you don't?
Well, of course, with every fibre of my being. But what you want and what you get is... I fought this fight before, don't forget.
How could I?
And I remember the relief when I got the all clear. But there was always that nagging doubt in the back of my mind that it might come back, and here I am, pulling into the final station, the end of the line, and... No amount of chemotherapy is going to change that, plus the fact that it's making me feel worse.
And what's your oncologist said?
I haven't mentioned it to her as yet.
Right, so don't you think it's a bit premature to be talking about stopping?
I don't think I've got the luxury of being premature about much at the moment, love.
3 rounds of chemo, that's what they said, right? And then they would review. Well, you've already done 2.
What, you think I've been selfish?
No, what I think is I want you around as long as I can. And if that means that...
OK. I'm not going to promise anything, Chaz. But I will talk to them, OK?